From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Good evening, everyone. Well, it is self-promotion time. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the app. If you haven't downloaded the app for Weather NorCal, it's free. Check it out. You know, I've been kind of walking and running into a lot of you in public and getting a lot of great comments about how much you love the app. So based on the general overall response, I think people are really enjoying it. So if you don't like it, you can always take it off your phone. Just go to your app store on your iPhone, or go to Google Play Store on your Android. Search for Weather NorCal, right like that, right? And it's free. Just download it. And like I say, check it out. If you don't like it, take it off your phone. But one of the good things I'd like to tell you about is the fact that, you know, a lot of apps these days, they're just computer generated. There's not a lot of personal input. I have a lot of input in a lot of the information here. Even the ones that don't necessarily look like my maps, those have some sort of influence on my forecast. So kind of check it out. Of course, you got other information there as well. You can check out the neighborhood forecast. You can check out A Wonderful World of Animals special segments. There are new ones coming in that I'm very excited to announce. So we've got a lot of great information right from your phone. Be sure to check it out. Of course, you can go to weathernorcal.com. And of course, I've also got the streaming channel for Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. So a lot of great resources for Weather NorCal. I highly recommend you check them out. A lot of great convenient ways for you to check the weather whenever you need it. All right, so here's the deal. We got a possibility for showers for all of Northern California. We're pretty much tomorrow and into Saturday. But for the coast, Saturday, by the way, it's going to be dry, which we'll see in the future cast. Dry and mild Sunday for everybody. And that's going to continue well into next week, with highs kind of going up and down a bit. But I think we're going to keep those temperatures below normal for this time of the year, which is somewhere in the upper 80s for this time of the year. So you can kind of see a disturbance right here, but it's kind of mainly back here that we've got our eyes on that is going to bring us a better potential for some of that activity. So there's the area of low pressure. Now, as we go into Friday, this low pressure really won't be overhead just yet. So it's going to be kind of progressing through the day on Friday. So I think that by the time we get into Friday night, Saturday morning in particular, I think that'll be the main event. Because by Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, it's down to our south, and then Sunday into next week, it just kind of scoots off to the north and east. Is no longer a factor for us. High pressure builds in as we go through next week, warming up through Wednesday, then another slight dip for Thursday, Friday of next week. But you get the idea. Once we get through this storm system that'll be moving through, especially tomorrow night and into Saturday, we'll be looking at drier and warmer conditions for really most, if not all, of next week. All right, so let's walk you through the timing of all this, okay? So here we are tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We're beginning to see just a few signs of that storm coming in, with a few light sprinkles and light showers for the north coast, right? But look at everybody else. It's dry. It's looking sunny to start off the day. But the clouds are beginning to move in advance of that low pressure system coming in. So what you start to see, we're seeing a bit of a spin. So we're beginning to see that area of low pressure begin to kind of take shape. We're starting to see more clouds, high clouds, coming into the valley by noon tomorrow. But we're still seeing mainly dry, or should I say mainly sunny skies off to the east. But look at the clouds and some light sprinkles. So really, all in all, for the north coast, inland areas, even Trinity County, yeah, you're going to see a chance for showers, but they're going to be few and far between. And there's a very good chance some of you may make it through the day without even seeing a drop of rain. Because look what happens by 5 p.m. We're seeing kind of a flare-up of showers and thunderstorms in Siskiyou County. Now, we're kind of in that typical flow. That's where the main flow is for these thunderstorms to develop, and that's where it's going to be here by 5 p.m. on Friday. You'll notice we're also beginning to see some activity around Redding, maybe as far south as Red Bluff. But look at Chico, look at Willows, down to the south and east. Still dry, and really not even looking at much in the way of cloud cover at this point. So it's not really until tomorrow night that I think we're going to see better chances for the valley seeing some activity here. But you can see off to the northeast, Shasta County, making its way into Modoc County. Now we're seeing those showers and thunderstorms kind of kicking off to the east there. Now some of these could get rather strong. So you're talking about brief periods of heavy rainfall. You're also talking about potential for some small hail, gusty winds with these thunderstorms, and on top of that, of course, frequent lightning is a very good possibility. Okay, now we go into the overnight hours. This is early Saturday morning. We're talking 2 a.m. You see how we have this big band of some heavier rainfall. Now, it may not necessarily kind of be in this particular location, but I think this will be the best chance for some of that instability. And it includes the valley, seeing some of that activity as well. All right, so let's take you into about 8 a.m. on Saturday. So we're starting to see it kind of push a little bit to the south. Now what's happening is the area of low pressure is continuing to move to the south. So we're going to start to see this activity that's moving in this direction kind of now beginning to move now towards this direction through the day on Saturday. You'll see that here when we advance this map. But here we are, 8 a.m. on Saturday. There are those showers and thunderstorms around Chico, and not to mention near Chester, and less activity for Reading and Red Bluff. But look at this. Again, remember I was talking about we're starting to see that flow kind of move down to the south. So what we're seeing here is around that flow, those thunderstorms developing. You'll notice this to the west and even mostly east of the valley, but the valley could still see some activity here as we go into Saturday around mid-afternoon, around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice Modoc County, notice Lassen County, Plumas County, showers and thunderstorms there, but look at the coast. We're still looking at dry conditions and for the inland areas, but Trinity County is seeing some of that activity. Okay, now we're at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Number one, we're still seeing showers and thunderstorms out there, but what you'll notice, it's not as widespread. So things are starting to slowly quiet down at this point, but still active in some areas. Then we go into Saturday night, 10 p.m. For the most part, it's gone. Now, the low pressure system at this point is now to our south. And when we look at the amount of rainfall we're going to see out of it, when we're talking about scattered showers and thunderstorms, it's really difficult to pinpoint exactly how much rain you'll see. But when we were looking at futurecasts, you saw the bulk of the activity was in this area right here. So this is where you would expect, at least at this point, to see the most amount of rainfall. I mean, look at Bernie, quite possibly seeing over an inch of rainfall. And I think in the valley, on average, we're talking about 1/10 to maybe a little over 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. But some areas in the valley, if you get caught under a thunderstorm, could see more than 1/4 of an inch of rainfall. So only time will tell, but I think we're going to see less activity for less rain, that is, off to the west, and less rain to the east, and this is going to kind of be the focal point of the heaviest amount of rainfall. All right, let's take a look at the long range here. We're going to take you into Sunday. Now, Sunday at this point now is looking dry. I've taken out the chances for rain for the eastern mountains because that looks like some pretty good support for that. And then we go through next week, all the way through the end of next week, it is looking dry. Now, it looks like we may see some monsoon moisture kind of come in from the south by the end of next week, but that's still a long ways out. We look at the wave heights here, and we're basically going to keep it the same, around 7 feet again, especially heading out to sea. So your marine forecast for tomorrow will be from the south at about 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the northwest at 5 feet at 10 seconds. Now there you can see your low tide will be at 6:16 in the morning in the minus category, and we take out your high tide just before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and there will be some of those showers, especially for the first half of the day. So here's what it looks like tonight. I've got the chance for showers tonight, early tomorrow morning for the north coast. Everyone else should be looking at dry conditions, and it's getting cold. We could be looking at some temperatures dropping below freezing, like Alturas, a low tonight of about 31, 34 for Aden, 38 degrees for Susanville. Kind of a cool start to the day in the valley, looking at temperatures eventually dropping down to the mid to even upper 50s. Now, for your Friday, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So, scattered showers, nothing heavy for the north coast, all day long on Friday. Don't anticipate a lot of rainfall. Don't cancel any outdoor plans. Now, as we go through late morning, early afternoon, we're going to start to see thunderstorms developing, especially in Siskiyou County. And then through mid to late afternoon, they start to develop in the north end of the valley. Now, I've got dry conditions for Friday. That's tomorrow. I've got dry conditions here to the east, and not to mention to the south. And the reason being is I think the showers and thunderstorms are going to hold off until tomorrow night and into Saturday. So that's what it looks like here for tomorrow, and obviously cooler temperatures too. Kind of a bit of a big drop, almost to about a 10-degree drop for some. All right, so here is your 7-day outlook. There's the thunderstorms for Mount Shasta tomorrow afternoon. Saturday, still more scattered showers and even some thunderstorms. Then Sunday it dries out through the end of next week as well. Now Alturas, PM showers and thunderstorms, as well as Susanville. And then there's your Saturday chances. Sunday I've taken out any chances for rain that continues into next week. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. It looks like late afternoon to evening thunderstorms for both Reading and Red Bluff. Showers really won't arrive for Chico until tomorrow night. And then Saturday you've got the showers, and then it dries out after that. Now, also, it looks like we'll see Sunday dry conditions all the way through the end of next week. Here's your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, and there you can see Friday, tomorrow that is, you're looking at the chance for showers. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms. Very light, few and far between for both the coast and inland. Now look at Saturday for the coast and inland. I've got you dry, but Weaverville, I think, will still be within that flow around that area of low pressure to produce more showers and maybe more thunderstorms for Saturday as well. And then we go into Sunday all the way through the end of next week, and pretty much everyone should be looking at dry conditions. The temperatures kind of going up and down, a bit of an increase through Wednesday, and then another drop as we go toward the end of next week.